Good morning, everybody. So, this video is going to be the breakdown of Let's Authenticate Certificate of Live Birth. So, I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so the Cesta KV Act of 1666. In my previous video, I did go further in depth. This video, like I said, is the breakdown. I want to keep it short and simple. So, you can go Google and read this for yourself, but it's just a title, okay, that they created for us, which is going to be your certificate of live birth. Okay, and that's why we want to take ownership, because we do not own ourselves. We did not create these certificates and social security numbers and so on and so forth. Okay, Black's Laws Dictionary, second edition. You want to get familiar with Black's Laws Dictionary because there's a lot of things that you can look in there, and it's going to give you the terms, the definitions, and all that good stuff. Because with business and law, our lingo is different from, civilian. It does not mean the same. It's about wordplay. So the Cesta KV, this is just another breakdown of it, another definition. The persons whose life measures the duration of an estate, the person of whom's life of insurance policy is written. Okay, so Minnesota Rule 220. Minnesota Rule 220 birth certificates. The registrar of title is authorized to receive for registration of memorials upon any outstanding certificate of title an official birth certificate pertaining to a registered owner named in said certificate of title showing the date of birth of said registered owner, providing there is attached to said birth certificate an affidavit of an affiant who states that he/she is familiar with the facts recited, stating that the party name in said birth certificate is the same party as one of the owners named in the said certificate of title, and that thereafter the registrar of title shall treat said registered owner as having obtained the age of the majority at date 18 years after the date of birth shown by said certificate. So that's just letting you know, I do not care about your color. I do not care about your religion. I do not care about how much money you have. Unless you do this, according to Minnesota Rule 220, you are incompetent, you are a minor, and you do not own anything, because everything that you own is actually going to go to the state. Yeah, your family may get some crumbs, but what people fail to realize, you don't own yourself. We are not free over here in the United States, okay? So, a ward. In law, a ward is a minor or incapacitated adult placed under the protection of legal guardian of governmental entities such as a court. Such a person may be referenced as a ward of the courts. We are all looked upon as wards of the states, wards of the court, because you're a minor. You are incompetent. If you are considered a minor or you are incompetent by law, how do you expect these people to listen to you when you're looked upon as a stupid child, in other words? Wards of the state. Children who are in the custody of governmental agencies through court orders are often referred to as wards of the state. In such cases, the government has the legal authority to act in place of their parents and take decisions on behalf of the children. The legal term loco parentis is often used in this context. This Latin term means in place of a parent, and it denotes the parental status of the guardian and the responsibilities, duties, and rights with regard to that status. In this case, the state is in loco parentis with the child. Even those confined to correctional institutions by juvenile courts, those in foster homes are sometimes called ward of the state. We are about to take ownership of our title. Also take ourselves out of the capacity of a minor, child, incompetent, into the age of majority, adult, competent. Until you do this process, you are civil to mortuus, which means civilly dead, no rights. We are all state wards, meaning you are owned property, period. So to people who once Again, think a color or money makes you someone. You're totally right. You are the best slave bringing in them shekels. Now marinate on that. We all have a hole that drops toxins. We have two birth certificates. One we go to the county and use to obtain license, etc. The other one we want to order is from Vital Statistics, which is at your Secretary of State in which the state you was born in. This is your certificate of live birth, which is your long form or confidential. Birth certificate just has your information. The certificate of live birth has the hospital, parents' information, color slash shade, etc. So this is your original title you must take control of if you truly want to own yourself and property. So you are going to download the application form from your state and pay the fee. You do not want to order your birth certificate. We are getting our certificate of live birth. So on the top of your application, you put long form or confidential. It's time to authenticate our title to take control of self of our property. Kids, minors under 18. In law, your kids is your property. Same as wife in law. It is looked upon as the man's property. Okay, so here's the form. You guys know I'm a Californian. I'm from California. So these are for all my people in Cali. Everywhere else, go to your Secretary of State, get the application. You know, some places they call it the long form, others call it confidential. That's why you can do either or, confidential or long form, but you're going to write that at the top of this form. If not, they will give you your birth certificate, and we want our certificate of live birth, which is our original title. Okay. So once you have your certificate of live birth, what you're going to do is you are going to have, of course, as I stated, your affidavit of ownership. So you're going to attach that to your certificate of live birth because they cannot notarize, you know, your birth certificate. So the reason we're going to go to the notary and turn our certificate of live birth, you know, put attach an affidavit with it, is because a notary is a public officer that has been deputized by the state. So they hold a lot of weight in court, okay? So when we authenticate our documents, it's for a foreign country. We are doing business without the United States, which we are tax exempt. Google authentication, read it. You know, me personally, I like to get all documents authenticated because that's letting them know this stands as truth and facts, you know, and not only that, you know, it's officers and all of these government officials and people that are saying, yeah, this is correct. Okay. So go in and read that. An apostle. An apostle is when you're doing business within the United States, which you are subject to taxation. If you do not give them a foreign country that is not within the United States jurisdiction, they will give you an apostle. Apostle is when you're doing business, like I said, within the United States. Our goal is to do business without the United States. Non-Hague conventions. Look it up, okay? Very important. Non-Hague conventions are countries not under United States jurisdiction or subject to taxation. Find you a country, that's the country that you are going to utilize when you go to the county, the Secretary of State, and the feds. Okay, so you pick whatever country that you want to use to set up your business and to let them know that we are going to be doing business in this country. So that's why we need our documents authenticated. Okay, so this is my certificate of live birth. Okay, so you see, I have it blocked off. As I state, the top portion, that would just typically be like the information about your birth certificate when you go to the county and order it. Okay. The bottom portion, that's going to talk about the hospital, the doctor is going to have your parents, your shade, color, all that on it. Okay. So once we have that, we attach our affidavit of ownership. Google it. You know what an affidavit of ownership is. You know, like I tell you, an affidavit is going to be your own words, okay? It becomes an affidavit when you get it notarized by a notary, which is a state officer. Okay, and in the affidavit, it already told us in Minnesota Rule 220 what we need to state in that affidavit to let them know we are the age of majority. Now we are headed to the county to get our COLB authenticated, not an apostille. If you do not give them a non-HAG convention, you will get an apostille. The clerk at the county will ask you for the country information. Once you give the clerk the information, they will read, then authenticate your affidavit of ownership. They cannot authenticate your COLB, reason we attach the affidavit of ownership. Affidavit of ownership, Minnesota Rule 220 tells you what is needed in the affidavit. Like I stated, I did block it out, but figure it out. Okay, so when I went down to the county, as I stated, I attached my affidavit of ownership. The lady, she read what I said. Now, the lady, she was so sweet because she did tell me, she was like, it seems like it's wrong, but this is correct. And she asked me if I knew where to go after this and if I knew the process, in which I do, and I did, okay? Now we are headed to the Secretary of State. If you live near them, you can go in for faster results. Same thing, they will ask you which country you are authenticating the document. It should be the same non-HAG convention you told the county clerk, or they will give you an apostille. Or if you mail it in, they should have an authentication form. You put in your non-HAG convention, pay the fee. Authenticated from the Secretary of State. So once you get it, it is not going to be in English, okay? Don't be afraid, but I don't know how it is in your guys' state, but this is how it looks like in our state, okay? Okay, now we then went through the Secretary of State, so now we are headed to the feds. Request for authentication services mailing address, U.S. Department of State, of Office of Authentication. Excuse me, guys, it's early in the morning. But yeah, this is the same place where you're actually going to get your passport and all that. You're sending this document to the feds. These are the feds, okay? This is the form that you are going to be using, the DS-4194, okay? Request for authentication. You are going to fill this out. It is going to ask for your country and all that same thing. Your non-HAG convention you're going to go ahead and use. Now, once you receive your COLB, everything will be attached. Do not detach these documents. It will make it void. Now you own yourself. What's next? Contracts and lien with the United States. You now are foreign and belong to the United States of America, which is free, sovereign. We are de jure, common law, not the de facto slave United States Inc. operating in color of law made up as you go. I have had people tell me this is fake. The thing about it, why would all these public servants put their name on an official document? When I went to do mine, the lady so sweet said, it seems weird and wrong, but what you're doing is right. She asked if I knew where to go. After that, I said yes. She said, good girl, keep on going. That day, I knew I was the one, y'all, on real business, and I love everything about this. Another woman told me, keep going. Your life is about to change, and it did. This is real game. Federal rules of civil procedures. If you pay attention on your authenticated birth certificate, it has this code on here. Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 44. I'm not about to go through, but reason I like getting my documents authenticated, now you can use as evidence in court. If not, the judge does not have to listen to what you present. This is on our document because we're operating officially. I'm only a guidepost to information. This is law and how we should move, you guys, at the end of the day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, I want to make it short and sweet as possible. So this is how you take control and own yourself. All right, thank you. Bye.